Today, we're going to take a look at division with remainders. But first, let's review some terms. When we divide, we are using an operation to find the number in each group or the number of equal groups. Remember, the groups always have to be equal. And when we find a remainder, it means the number that remains after the division is complete. When we use division in the real world, it's not going to always give us a perfect answer. Sometimes we're going to have some left over. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Here's an example. Let's say your school has 28 books to give to 4 classrooms. Let's picture what this would look like. We have 4 classrooms and we want to give an equal number of books to each classroom. Each classroom is going to get 7 books. And I know that 7 times 4 equals 28, so that's perfect. But what if your school had 30 books to give to 4 classrooms? We want to make sure that every classroom gets an equal number of books. If I give every classroom 7 books, I know that's not going to work because that gives me 28 books because 7 times 4 equals 28. But then if I gave 2 classrooms 8 books and 2 classrooms 7 books, that wouldn't be fair. And it's not division because I'm not having 4 equal groups anymore. So 8 and 7 don't work. So then what does that look like in a division problem? Well, I know that every classroom can get 7 books, and that would give me 28 books to get all together. And then I'm going to have 2 books left over because I know that 7 times 4 equals 28, and then I need 2 more to get to 30. So when I write that as my answer, 30 divided by 4 is 7, remainder 2. And I used an R to show that I have a remainder. Let's take a look at another one. I know that 42 divided by 7 equals 6. You can write that down in your notebook. But what if I had the number 45 divided by 7? Well, like I just said, I know that 7 times 6 equals 42. How many more would I have left over to go from 42 to 45? If I think to myself, 45 minus 42 is going to give me 3. So my answer to this problem would be 6, remainder 3. And sometimes it helps to think of the closest fact below your dividend to help you come up with your quotient. Why don't we look at these two? So I have 29 divided by 3. So if I think about 3 facts, I know that 3 times 9 equals 27. And that's as close as I can get to 29 without going over 29. So 29 divided by 3 is going to be 9 because I can make 9 groups or have 9 in each group. And then I ask myself, how many do I have left over? Well, 29 minus 27 is 2. So my answer is 9, remainder 2. If I wanted to check that, the way you check division with remainders, I would do 9 times 3. So I'm multiplying my quotient and my divisor. I get 27, and then I add my remainder. And I should get my dividend, which is 29. Let's try 78 divided by 8. So if I think about my facts, I know that 8 times 9 equals 72. And I know that 8 times 10 equals 80, and that's too high. That wouldn't work. So my answer will be 9. And then if I think about my remainder, 78 minus 72, how many do I have left over? I have 6 left over. And why don't you try in your notebook to check your answer to that with multiplication and addition. You can pause the video and I'll do it up here and we'll see how we did. 8 times 9 equals 72. 72 plus 6 is going to give me 78, which matches my dividend. Okay, why don't you pause the video and write these down in your notebook and solve these, and then I'll show you the answer and we'll see how you did. Here are your answers to your 4 problems. If you made any mistakes, why don't you go back and use the multiplication and addition strategy to check your work and see where you made the mistake, whether it's in the subtraction or the division. Great job today.